Hey everyone, what's going on? I hope you're all doing great and ready for a relaxed, deep run through the latest Diablo IV update. I want to walk you through what changed, why it matters, and what you should actually do in game afterwards, but in a way that feels like we're just talking over a coffee rather than reading a dry bulletin. The patch, Update 1096, landed as a relatively small build focused on quality of life fixes and bug resolution, not sweeping balance changes. So the immediate headline is that this one is mostly about making your play smoother rather than reshaping the entire meta. First, a quick sense of the kind of stuff the developers targeted. The update fixes a handful of issues around reward claiming, tidies up a few interactions and endgame content like chaos rifts, and applies some stability and flow improvements to combat and class behavior. If you've been wrestling with rewards that didn't appear after a rift, or annoying menu flows in the battle pass, those are the exact things this update aimed to address. That's important because these aren't sexy balance numbers, but they're the sort of fixes that quietly improve your daily grind. Less wasted time, fewer did that actually count moments, and fewer forced reruns because a reward didn't register. So, what does that mean for you as a player? If you're someone who cares about optimization and efficiency, this patch could save you small amounts of time that add up. For example, if Chaos Rift token counts or reward drops were inconsistent for you, being able to rely on those rewards coming through reliably makes your route planning and time investment more predictable. That matters a lot when you're trying to hit weekly goals or maximize value from limited play sessions. The difference between I need to run this again because the token didn't grant properly and I can't assume the reward will be there is subtle but tangible, especially for players who log several hours per week. If you stream or create content, this patch is the sort you mentioned briefly. Fixed Battle Pass claiming issues and some Rift reward bugs, and then get back to your build guides or showcase runs. It's worth noting for your audience because a few viewers may have been stuck at certain progression points due to those issues, and showing that you reran something post-patch to confirm fixes is useful trust building content. But don't frame it like a meta shift. This isn't the kind of update that changes what builds dominate. Think of it as smoothing the roads rather than repaving them. Now let me give you something that actually reads well on camera. Talk like a regular player who also knows what's going on. Start conversationally. Mention you updated, mention one or two annoyances you personally noticed for authenticity, and then explain the most practical things players should try again now that the patch is applied. For instance, if you had a rift that didn't drop a reward last week, tell your viewers to recheck those runs. You might actually find missing rewards or restored counters that make a farm viable again. If your battle pass was misbehaving, show how claiming feels smoother now. These are small visual confirmations that make your video valuable beyond just rehashing patch notes. From a tone perspective, keep it real and slightly opinionated. Say something like, "This patch isn't thrilling on a balanced spreadsheet, but I'll take smoother menus and reliable rewards any day because it saves time and frustration." That kind of line resonates because people who play a lot care about friction. Then move into a practical checklist for what to do in your next session. Update your client, rerun any suspect rifts or nightmare dungeons that previously glitched, check your battle pass progression, and ensure rewards are claimable. And if you're a completionist, glance through recent runs where you suspected missing items or XP. Emphasize that all this is about reclaiming lost progress and making sure your season time is productive, not panicking about reworking builds, because there's no indication this update rebalanced core class power levels. You can also include a short segment that reassures more casual players. If you're not grinding for max efficiency, this patch won't impact your fun in an obvious way, but it does reduce small annoyances that can annoy anyone. That's a nice empathy beat for your viewers who play casually but still hate when menus or rewards act up. And for the PvPers or endgame purists, mention that they should still watch for future patches. Small fixes like these sometimes precede larger balance updates, or they clean up the environment so the next big patch lands on a more stable baseline. In plain terms, this fix makes big changes less likely to introduce new headaches because the system underneath is in a healthier state. If you want to get a little deeper for viewers who like technical context, explain why Battle Pass claiming changes matter beyond cosmetics. Battle Pass flows are part of a player's perceived value for time invested. When you lock certain cosmetic or currency rewards behind a pass that sometimes refuses to let you claim them, it can create a perception problem. Fixing that improves the player experience and reduces the friction between effort and reward. It's not a numerical buff to power, but it's an indirect quality boost to the season's economy of attention and time. People who grind for cosmetics or seasonal goals will appreciate the smoother pipeline, and you can illustrate that by showing before and after clips if you recorded the buggy behavior earlier. For an engaging mid-video moment, pick a small anecdote. Maybe you ran a chaos rift that dropped the tokens, but your inventory didn't update. Rerun it and show the updated behavior, then riff on the emotional microjourney of players who lose minutes to bugs. That authenticity sells. Then layer in a short what to watch for segment. If you notice any lingering issues like missing rewards after the patch, take screenshots and report them through official channels. The faster the devs get clear reports, the faster real edge cases get tightened. Encourage your viewers to report bugs, but also remind them to include timestamps or exact steps. That makes reports actionable. Now, because viewers always want to know whether to change builds, no, you don't need to rework your entire character. Small QoL patches typically don't affect class balance. If you're mid-season on a go-to build and it was working before, keep using it. The better thing to do is use the patch as an opportunity to be efficient. Rerun any content that previously glitched and reclaim any lost progression. If you're chasing leaderboards or trying to min-max a farm, the improved reliability will pay off. In your video, say that plainly, and then show a short montage of a streamlined run to demonstrate the patch's impact on consistency. For creators who like speculation, add a gentle predictive note. Sometimes these small patches are followed by PTR changes or a larger seasonal update down the line. So the best strategic choice for players right now is to optimize what matters, stable, repeatable runs, and keep an eye on official channels for major balance announcements. Don't speculate loudly on nerfs or buffs unless you see concrete notes from the devs. It just stokes confusion. Keep your credibility by anchoring commentary to actual dev posts or official patch notes when they appear. That's responsible content creation and helps your audience trust your take. End your script with a friendly sign-off that invites engagement. Ask your viewers if they experienced any of the bugs fixed in the patch, whether they noticed rewards they couldn't claim before, and what reruns they'll prioritize now that these fixes landed. Encourage people to share timestamps or clips in the comments so you can spotlight a few in the next video. That drives interaction and gives you material for follow-ups. Also mention you'll be watching official notes and will bring a follow-up if a bigger balance patch drops, which keeps things open-ended without promising immediate updates. Finally, practical production notes. Keep the video tight by alternating short explanatory passages with gameplay clips demonstrating the fixes.